listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
After enjoying a day off, including a Kernel Foundation fundraising golf outing, the Kernels spring back into action against a team we just saw during our recent 8-game homestand. We play the first of 4 here in Davenport on the banks of the Mississippi at the beautifully renovated John O'Donnell Stadium against the St. Louis Cardinal minor leaguers, the swing of the Quad Cities. The Kernels split 4 with the swing at home last week, and it's our first chance this season to talk it over with a young right-hander in the Kernel starting rotation who has just done wonders on the Hill in his second year of pro ball, Stephen Merrick. And Stephen, let's start with yesterday and what you enjoyed doing on the day off.
I have to say I didn't make it out golfing. I'm not a very good golfer, so I just kind of took the opportunity to get a little extra sleep, and I just slept in until about noon, and just went to the mall, bought a few new T-shirts, and ate dinner with the host family. It was nice.
And, Stephen, that is a nice day because whatever you choose to do with your day off, they are so few, and we try to cherish them in the realm of professional baseball.
That's true. That's very true. It's a nice day when you don't have to go to the park and just kind of get your mind off baseball for a day, and then, like today, just get back into it.
Well, we're glad you did enjoy that time off, Stephen, and you're off to such a good start. You're 4-1, your ERA's 2.33, and considering the inconsistency we've had offensively, and that's not a rap on our hitters, they're trying their hearts out each and every game to give you guys run support. The good part is you had to pitch in close games, and that's good experience.
Oh, yeah, you can. It'd be nice to be able to pitch when, have a big lead, but you learn how to pitch a little bit better when you're in close games and bear down every pitch to try to make a quality pitch and get it out. So I think I've learned a lot so far this year.
I think you have too, Stephen. I know that Kernan Ronan and Keith Comstock have both talked to you quite a bit about helping you with a few things mechanically, and I wondered if you could expound on those because you seem to be the kind of guy that is a sponge and that likes to hear ways to improve.
I have to say in the beginning of the year I was kind of leaking a little bit and getting, I guess, out in front of my body, and my arm was dragging, and I would sometimes leave the ball up for a ball. And I guess Kernan's been working with me a lot this year, and I'm starting to get that down a lot better. My mechanics getting the ball down, and I know Keith Comstock was in town. He said I'm doing a lot better job. So
yeah, it's always good to hear it from both the guy that sees you every day and then the guy that travels around, the roving pitching instructor. Stephen, go back to that term leaking. You defined it, I think, as leaving your arm behind your upper body. Does that mean you rush your lower body, or what does it mean? That's all right. We got Brett Martin. It's good that this ball club can start off after the day. Brett's doing a little bit of antics that are fun, and Stephen lost it there for a second. But that term leaking, Stephen.
It's more at the stretch when I'm trying to hold runners on, and I'm trying to be quick to the plate. My front side just gets out ahead, and my arm doesn't catch up, making myself leave the ball up. So I've been working on that quite a bit.
And the guys have a new technology that both the hitters and the pitchers that's really revolutionary, where you can break down your delivery almost frame by frame or compare it to good pitches. Could you explain how that is? I think it's called Dartfish.
I haven't heard of that yet. I think we videotape each of our starters, and we kind of look at that and see where we are each game, so that helps a lot.
Stephen Merrick is with us from John O'Donnell Stadium. We're talking about the success he's had and how he enjoyed the day off yesterday. Stephen, you're a guy that doesn't seem to get too flustered when there's men on base. Yet I know your adrenaline probably does rise a little bit, or your butterflies may surface in your midsection. Is it that you're not showing any type of anguish or nervousness, or is that just your nature that you're able to control your emotions?
Pretty much. I guess you try to focus a lot more. For myself, when runners are on, I just try to bear down and make a good pitch and not let, the runners being on bother me at all. It's just, make a good pitch and I'll get out of it. And for the most part, I've been able to do that.
You've stayed relatively injury-free your career, haven't you?
Since I turned pro, I know in high school I got hurt, and I went from throwing low 90s as a sophomore to being out for pretty much a year and a half, and the doctors said it was just tendonitis, and I had a pinched nerve in my shoulder. And I went to a chiropractor, and that fixed it, and then I went to college and just took off, I guess. So.
Well, that's great news, and that you sought kind of an alternative form or a different opinion, and a chiropractor was able to help you, Stephen. Do you remember some of the things he either talked to you about or some of the techniques he used to end that pinched nerve and tendonitis trouble?
Well, I mean, it was kind of funny. I remember my junior in high school, me and my family did the acupuncture. We did everything pretty much, and I think it was my senior year I went to a chiropractor, and he did some x-rays and did some exercise, and he just said you have a blocked nerve that's going to your shoulder, and just did about 2 months, did that, and then just went away, and then I've been healthy for 4 or 5 years, nothing really major wrong, no bothers.
And the lesson there is to be open-minded as an athlete or a patient and try to get a number of people to look at you. Describe acupuncture. Is that something that's painful, or did you have any feeling about acupuncture before you went to the chiropractor?
Well, I think the acupuncture, we tried that just because all the doctors were saying it was nothing. I was doing massage therapy. We were trying anything, and we went to acupuncture a few times, and it didn't really help. It wasn't really painful. It was just they put a lot of needles into you, I guess, the spots that they put it in, and it wasn't that bad. It just didn't really help, so just kind of tried the next thing, and finally went to a chiropractor, and it helped, so I was happy.
Well, that's great. We're going to take a break on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Have a final word with Colonel starter Stephen Merrick here from Davenport in just a minute. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners, we make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications.
CUNA Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
We're back at John O'Donnell Stadium in Davenport. The Kernels are going to kick off a 4-game series, part of an 8-game commuter to Davenport and Clinton. And Stephen Merrick is with us talking about his success and overcoming some arm trouble as a high schooler. And Stephen, you really shined, from what I've understood, at the Junior College World Series. Who did you pitch for? Where was the Junior College World Series, and what kind of crowds did they have?
I pitched for the San Jacinto Gators. It was, I guess, my redshirt freshman year, and it was in Grand Junction, Colorado, and they had at least like 8,000 to 10,000 every night. It was quite an experience. I really enjoyed it.
It's a thrill. Now, does the ball carry in Grand Junction like it does Denver? Are you way above the mile-high mark in Grand Junction?
Yes, it definitely carried out there. The field we played at was only 305 down the line, and there were some tape measure shots, but I guess up there your fastball's a little fast, but your curveball doesn't do as much because the air's lighter. But I was able just to throw fastballs. I didn't really throw any off speed there, but that's where the Angels first saw me. That's where they drafted me from.
And I think you were named outstanding pitcher in the Junior College World Series. Do you have a reward or a memento for being named that?
They gave me like a big trophy. It was kind of neat. It said most outstanding pitcher, and I made the All-Star or the All-Tournament team, and they got a little trophy for that too. So I have that in my room back home in Sealy.
Well, that's great. And Sealy is
in my hometown, where my family lives now in Texas.
Well, Stephen, the Angels found you at that junior college tournament, and then what did they do to kind of make sure nobody else signed you?
Well, I know Tom Kochman saw me up there, and he just called my mom's room, actually, in the hotel and said, hey, we want to get some info about you. And he called me and just got my Social Security number, and they ended up just drafting me in the 40th round. And didn't really think anything of it. And then I went to the Jayhawk League and pitched good up there, and then came back to San Jack, and just, I guess my stock rose, and there was a lot of other teams interested, and the Angels just had the best offer, I guess. And
they had the initial rights to you.
Yes, that's correct. No other team could talk to me, but they just came down, I guess, the last week before the draft, and we got a deal done, so it was good.
Stephen, that's wonderful. Listen, thank you so much for spending some time with us here before the series opener in Davenport. These are commuters, so you'll be home sleeping with your host family every night, and maybe you can bring some good Zio Giano's to the ballpark or on the bus. Enjoy a meal at Zio Giano's. It's the pasta that will make you sing. Stephen Merrick, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Stephen Merrick, Colonel starting pitcher, our guest from Davenport. We'll all have the starting lineups. First game of a 4-game Memorial Day set with the St. Louis Cardinal minor leaguers, the swing of the Quad Cities. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Tuna Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
We welcome you to the first of an 8-game series, a commuter road trip to Davenport and Clinton, two of our Western Division rivals, and we begin it here on the banks of the Mississippi at the newly renovated John O'Donnell Stadium versus the Quad City, the swing of the Quad City. Welcome, everyone, to the ball game. Neither team hit this evening as the tarp was on the field, and both teams are out limbering up down their respective lines. The Kernels down the right field line, where right-hander Nick Adenhart, thanks to Todd Brummelkamp, who's alongside, we know that Nick is in quest of his a minor league leading 8th win. There are 3 other pitchers that have posted Nick's league high total here in the Midwest circuit of 7. Nick Adenhart, 7-0, will be opposed by the Swing's best pitcher. This is a rematch of last Friday night's duel between Nick Adenhart and 19-year-old lefty Jaime García. Let's set the starting lineups for the series opener. The Swing are skippered by Keith Mitchell, a 4th-round pick of the Braves back in '87, and he played for the 1991 National League champion Atlanta Brave team. Keith Mitchell, a .274 career hitter in 1,491 minor league games. He's guided his Swing to a record of 18-25, and that's good enough for 6th place in the 8-team Western Division first-half standings. Quad Cities is 1 half game behind the Kernels. Leading off for the Swing, Daniel Nelson, the second baseman. He's tied for second in the league with 15 stolen bases. Batting second, he had 9 hits against the Kernels last week in our split with Quad Cities. Colby Rasmus, the 19-year-old center fielder, first-round pick of the Cardinals last year. Bryan Anderson will catch and hit third. He's batting .330, third highest in the Midwest League. Randy Roth is a cleanup batter. He'll be at third base for the Swing. Hitting fifth, the designated hitter, A.J. Van Slyke. First baseman Adam Rogers will hit 6th for Quad Cities. Batting 7th, a familiar name if you listen to our games against the Swing last year in left field, Simon Williams. He hit .287 in 64 games, was very hard on Colonel pitching. Simon Williams in left field will bat 7th for Quad City. Hitting 8th, Casey Roulette. He's in right field. And batting 9th, the shortstop, Jose Martinez. Quad City's a very good hitting team. They're ranked 3rd in the league with a .263 average. Here at John O'Donnell, they're hitting a robust .280. Allen Motor Company, as always, presents the Kernels starting lineup. Allen Motor Company invites you to visit their spectacular 13-acre campus, I-380, Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha, where you'll get your first year's maintenance free on Allen's when you buy a 2005 Buick LeSabre, a 2006 Buick Rendezvous, or a 2005 Buick Century. Your first year's maintenance is on Allen's when you buy those models now at Allen Motor Company. They're open until 9 o'clock tonight, so head on out and visit Allen's. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup in this series opener, leading off Kernel switch hitting shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Marco Albano is the designated hitter. He'll bat second. Hitting third in the Allen Motor Company order, he accompanied us to Hoover and Arthur Elementary Schools this morning to promote our 8th annual reading program. Jordan Renz, the league leader in RBIs with 38, will bat third and right. The Kernel cleanup batter in the Allen Motor Company order, second baseman Dallas Morris. Flint Whipke's behind the plate. He'll bat fifth, followed by Mark Trumbo at first base. Stantrell Smith will hit seventh, and he's in center field. Batting eighth in the Allen Motor Company order, left fielder Warner Madrigal. And batting ninth, Travis Schlichting, the third baseman. On the hill, Nick Adenhart, he's been sensational. Really no words to describe the excellence with which this 19-year-old has worked in terms of command, poise, and gutty determination and competitive desire. Nick leads the league with a win total of 7. He's 7-0, fourth lowest ERA in the Midwest League, 1.56. Third in innings pitched, 57 2/3. Adenhart beat this Quad City team and the fine lefty Jaime García 4-1 Friday at home. The Swing take the field in their white home uniforms with North Carolina baby blue hats, sleeves, and socks, and burnt orange Texas numbers. The umpires are sponsored by Anderson and Brown Eye Care, and we'll tell you a bit more about Anderson and Brown Eye Care, but first, let's pause to honor America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner here at John O'Donnell Stadium. The national anthem here at John O'Donnell Stadium, a $13 million full-scale renovation in 2002, and it's named John O'Donnell's namesake is a legendary Davenport Times Democrat sports editor who played a prominent role for 4 decades writing about sports in this Quad City area. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, as always, sponsors our umpires. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care in their new location on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. They're a full-service, comprehensive eye care center, including exams, glasses, contact lenses, right on site, and wheelchair accessible as well, the building and exam rooms at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Easy in, easy out. Before lefty Jaime García works to the Kernels here in the first, We have 4 finals from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson. Gary Schubat, who's in the crowd this evening, along with Tom Kelly, great Colonel fans, Brad Dunn, and Dale Thompson. This afternoon, the Royals blew a big lead. Detroit scored 8 runs in the last 2 frames, and the Tigers handed the Royals their 13th straight loss at Kauffman Stadium, 13-8. A final from Safeco Field, the Orioles blanked Seattle 2-0. In the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, it was the Nationals playing at RFK Stadium, and they derailed the Astros 8-5. And at Chase Stadium, the Phillies knocked off the Mets 5-3. Only 2 other games on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Later tonight in the American League, the Devil Rays and Red Sox tangle at Fenway Park, and it's the A's and Rangers down at Ameriquest Field in Arlington. Great to have you with us this evening here from John O'Donnell Stadium, where the skies are overcast and the lights are on. The only other, well, we'll tell you about the only other 3-game or 7-game winners when Nick Adenhart takes the hill in the bottom half of this first inning. The game's first pitch is headed home, and it's high and inside a fastball from Garcia to Heinle Stacia. Heinle batting .278, no homers, 9 RBIs. You almost need a high chair to call the action from the press box here, because the seats are built low to the window as a strike is taken by Stacia, and you can't see much more than about 10 feet behind the dirt batting circle. We're not complaining. It's a great vantage point. Garcia's 1-1 pitch is powdered foul down the right field line. Strike 2 to Heinle. Stacia, Albano, Renz here in the Colonel first inning. The first of an 8-game road trip, all on the Tri-State Travel Motor Coach in terms of travel commuters to Davenport and Clinton. There's a curveball, which is the bread and butter pitch of Jaime Garcia, and it's outside. 2-2 to Heinle Stacia. Slightly open stance, holds his hands high above his back ear. The Colonels in their gray road uniforms with red trim. Here's a drive to straightaway center for Colby Rasmus. He moves over 2 steps to his right and has it in straightaway center. Heinle Stacia put good wood on it, but lines out to center. 1 out here in the Colonel first inning, and Marco Albano is at the plate. Thanks to everyone who participated in a highly successful and fun annual golf outing at Wildcat in Shellsburg yesterday. It was sunny, warm, and windy, and Jessica Ferguson of our staff had everything perfectly organized as always. A fastball down and into Marco Albano, ball 1. The Colonel record on the road this year, 9-14, 11-12 at home, 20-26 overall. Colonel's trying to bounce back from that 4-game sweep handed to us by the Kane County Cougars, the division leaders, with a record of 27-18. Albano looks at a pitch low, a fastball, 2-0 to Marco. The Colonels beat this lefty, Jaime Garcia, 4-1 last Friday, but got an early jump on him with a pair of runs in the first inning. There's a strike on the inside corner, a delayed way of calling it by the plate umpire. I'm sure he verbally said strike, but it took him a while to show everybody else by pulling the trigger. Now Albano slices a drive foul off to the right. 2-2. There's no more picturesque setting for baseball than right here on the banks of the Mississippi. You can see the entire Moline and Rock Island skyline and all that make this Quad City area so desirable in terms of culture and entertainment and just about anything you'd want. In fact, it's interesting to note, I listen sometimes to some stations out of the Windy City in Chicago, and Quad City loves to advertise in the Chicago area as this being a great weekend getaway. Curve, and that's the big league breaking pitch we saw Garcia flash at us last Friday. A swing and a miss by Marco, a pitch down and in. Garcia pitched well in the 4-1 loss to Nick Adenhart last Friday at Veterans Memorial Stadium. He went 5 1/3, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned on 9 hits. So you're saying, well, why do you mean he pitched well? He struck out 8 in 5 1/3, walked 2. 2 away, nobody on for Jordan Renz. Fastball looked good from here, but the plate umpire said it was high, ball 1. Renz, a right-handed batter. It's a overcast evening, but blue skies above. Here's a drive down the right field line into the corner, and it drops near the line, cut off by Casey Roulette, and he makes a good play to hold Renz to a long single. Jordan Renz adds to his .284 average as he dropped a single down the right field line, swatted it high in the air. Casey Roulette raced to his left near the line. Casey's a Mighty Mouse type of player. He's pint-sized, and he hustled and pedaled over as fast as he could, but he couldn't get close enough to dive. And Renz has the first Colonel hit of the night here in the first inning. The batter, Dallas Morris. Dallas batting .221. 3 homers, 16 RBIs. He's batting cleanup here in the first game of 4 to take us into the Memorial Day weekend. A throw to first, and Jordan Renz is back safely. A light breeze is blowing from the first base Colonel dugout out towards left center field. Above the blue padded wall is a grass slope seating berm. There's a fastball low, and it's ball 1 to Dallas Morris. We're just underway. 400 feet to straightaway center here at John O'Donnell Stadium. A 10-foot high blue padded wall, and above that is a black net screen that serves as an ideal batter's eye. Outfield plays Morris straight away and deep. Jaime García comes set at the chin and brings it. Another foul as Dallas was jammed, and that ball rolls behind the plate. It's strike 1 to Dallas Morris. 343 down the left field line. 318 down the right field line. And there's a very short grass slope seating berm that doubles as a flood wall beyond the right field wall. And a balk has been called. And Jaime García is not sure what he did wrong. The base umpire between the mound and second came to a set position and then tried to show the lefty what he did incorrectly to commit a balk. Jordan Renz is now in scoring position here in the top of the first inning. Colonels lead the swing in the standings by 1/2 game. Dallas chops it to third. This should be easy for Randy Roth. He unloads to get Dallas Morris and end the inning. Dallas Morris topped it to third on 2 hops and is thrown out. No runs in the Colonel first. A 2-out single by Renz, a balk. There were no swing errors. Colonels leave 1 aboard, and after 1/2 inning, with 7-game winner Nick Adenhart heading to the hill, Colonels nothing, swing coming to bat. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes!
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Daniel Nelson, who had 4 hits against the Colonels in our 4-game series last week in Cedar Rapids, switch hitter from Los Angeles Pierce College, steps in, and Nick Adenhart delivers a strike called on the inside corner, a fastball. We told you that Nick is gunning for a minor league high 8th win tonight. the other three hurlers who have 7 wins as Nelson shoots the 0-1 pitch foul down the left field line into the bleacher section that parallels the left field line. Charles Lofgren of Kinston, an Indian farmhand in the Carolina League, has 7 wins. At AAA Sacramento, a affiliate, Jason Windsor has 7 wins. There's a curve, and it just missed outside. Brother, was that a good pitch from Nick Adenhart. And a familiar name to most Midwest League fans. He pitched in the Midwest League. Matt Garza, a minor leaguer for the Twins at AA New Britain. Here's a pitch spanked hard off the glove of second baseman Dallas Morris into right, up to coming in to get it, Jordan Renz. Daniel Nelson ripped one so hard that Dallas Morris found it too hot to handle, and they've charged him with an error. Daniel Nelson, switch hitter batting left, corked it hard on one hop. Dallas got his glove up in time. The ball flicked off the heel of his mitt into right field. And here's trouble, Colby Rasmus. He had 9 hits against the Kernels last week, did the 19-year-old Redbird first-round pick, Colby Rasmus. He went 9 for 15. A fastball at the knees is a strike called. It'll take a while to get used to this umpire's mannerisms. He steps back and across and then throws his right hand toward the third base swing dugout when he calls a strike on a left-handed batter. No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning, and Daniel Nelson has reached on an error by second baseman Dallas Morris. A throw to first, and it dribbles out of the glove of Mark Trumbo, just a couple of feet beyond Mark. Daniel Nelson is likely to do some running. He's 15 of 17 in stolen base attempts. Quad City is second only to our ball club, the Kernels. They have 58 steals in their 45 games. The Kernels have 68 steals in 46 games. Ball 1 is high and away to Colby Rasmus, R-A-S-M-U-S. Batting .297. Has 5 homers and has driven in 22 runs to go along with 14 doubles. A throw to first, and Nelson just got back, diving head first, and now his white home swing uniform is caked in dirt. Steve Dillard, former Boston Red Sox. In fact, Steve managed here before I joined the league in '96. He managed the Quad City River Bandits. Dillard was an infielder. He managed them in '93 and '94. Came after the great flood of 1993. Dillard, a seasoned big league pro, coaching at first. There's another throw to first, and the runner got back again, hand first. I remember Steve Dillard as a Red Sox. He also played with the Tigers, Cubs, and White Sox. His son Tim is a pitcher in the Brewer organization. Strike 2 swinging on Colby Rasmus. Steve Dillard looks like a baseball player, kind of bow-legged and big mustache. He managed Billy Wagner here in 1994 as well as Richard Hidalgo. Yeah, I still can't believe some of the numbers Richard Hidalgo has put up with the Astros. I'm not sure he's with them anymore, Todd, is he? There's a pitch low, and it's 2-2 to Rasmus. For some reason, I think Richard Hidalgo may have signed with somebody as a free agent. Nick Adenhart working from the stretch here in the bottom of the first inning to left-handed hitting Colby Rasmus. Runner not going, and a swing and a miss, a changeup. Nick Adenhart pulled the string on Colby Rasmus, got him swinging for the first out of the first inning. Nick Adenhart with his 61st strikeout in 58 innings. 58 innings, including the first third here tonight. 61 strikeouts. Nick has allowed only 41 hits in 58 innings. Walked just 12. The red-hot Bryan Anderson fouls one straight back. 0-1 to Anderson. Richard Hidalgo indeed is not with Houston anymore. He's with the Baltimore Orioles. I believe Javi Lopez is with the Orioles as well. Still doesn't seem like the Braves are the same without him, does it? A broken bat number to the on-deck circle where the Colonel equipment manager has to Not sure what he was doing over in the Quad City on-deck circle, but he trots across to his own dugout. And the barrel of the bat, a sheath of it came off, and now Bryan Anderson given a new black lacquer bat. The one he was using before was white ash. Anderson hitting .330. Third highest average in the league for this 19-year-old Cardinal prospect, a fourth-round pick by St. Louis, a left-handed batter, a throw to first, and Daniel Nelson back safely. The 0-2 delivery is skied in the air to straightaway center. Santrell Smith takes 3 quick steps over to his right and makes the play. A can of corn off the bat of Bryan Anderson. 2 gone here in the swing first inning.
Now is the third baseman, number 47, Randy Roth.
We play here again tomorrow at 7. We'll be on 1450 KMRY tomorrow evening. Here in the zone, you'll hear Scott Unash with the racing action at Hawkeye Downs. Then we're back in the zone Saturday evening. And a special programming note, we play Sunday evening a 7 o'clock game. Unusual, but the ownership here in Davenport wants to put on a Memorial Day fireworks show. So we'll play at 7 o'clock Sunday evening. Swing and a miss on a changeup by Randy Roth. Husky, strong right-handed batter who leads the league with 11 home runs, Randy Roth. Roth was 0 for 4 against Nick Adenhart in our ballpark this past Friday. Daniel Nelson looks like he's going to run. He's not running, and a swing and a miss on a pitch down and in by the Quad City slugging out our third baseman, Randy Roth. He's out of Southeastern Louisiana University. Wide stance at the plate. There's a throw to first, and Nelson just got back in. Daniel successful in 15 of 17 stolen base attempts. Adenhart's 0-2, swung on and missed. Nick Adenhart fans Randy Roth to end the inning. So after Daniel Nelson reached on an error by the Colonel's second baseman, Rasmus struck out, Anderson flew to center, Randy Roth fans. No runs, no hits, 1 Colonel error in the Quad City first, the swing leave a runner aboard. The Colonels come to bat in the top of the second. Series opener here on the banks of the Mississippi, and it's the Colonels nothing, the Swing nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared to Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you sing. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
More of what you're looking for. Just go.
We're back at home from this 8-game road trip on June 2nd. And let's tell you about what you have to look forward to. It's a tradition, Pat McGrath Chevyland Used Car Night, Friday, June 2nd. If you're 18 years or older and have a valid driver's license, you could drive away with a Pat McGrath Chevyland used car. There'll be 3 given away on Friday night, June 2nd. Remember, that's the first 7 o'clock start of the season. The gates open at 6 for that Friday night, June 2nd ball game. Flint Whipkey takes a fastball just inside ball one from Jaime García, 19-year-old. He's only 6'1", weighs 200 pounds. And he was a Cardinal 20th round pick last year. His cut fastball is a strike to Flint Whipkey. Garcia struggled at Johnson City in the Appalachian League. He was 2-7 in 12 starts with a 7.66 ERA. A bouncer to second. This should be easy for Daniel Nelson. The long throw from near the bag at second, behind the base, gets Flint Whipkey one away. Boy, Garcia, his record not indicative of the outstanding work he's done this year for the Swing. He's 1-2 and lost 3. His ERA is 2.66. He's only allowed 40 hits and 47 and a third, fanned 54 and 47 and a third, walked only 14. So we have a premier pitching matchup here tonight. Mark Trumbo takes a strike. He's batting 6th in the Allen Motor Company order. Is the Kernels slugging first baseman who hit his 6th home run of the year in our recent series with Kane County. There's strike 2 on the outside corner, and Trumbo again peers back at the plate umpire, who's wearing a navy blue knit top, short sleeve, with gray trousers and a couple of black kangaroo pouches protruding from his left and right hip. Good morning, good noon, good night. A changeup, and Mark Trumbo caught looking. Well, Mark was completely carved up by the lefty, Jaime Garcia. When a guy doesn't take the bat off his shoulder in 3 pitches, you know that he is fooled. 2 gone here in the Colonel's second for Stantrell Smith. Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp pointed out a huge disparity in the Colonel team batting average against right-handers as opposed to lefties. We're hitting .231 against right-handed pitching this year, .277 against southpaws. Strike 1 to Smith. Ball 1 low, a changeup. So you take .277 minus .231, and that is a huge gulf, 36-point difference in Colonel hitting between right-handers and left-handers, with us faring far better against lefties. Stantrell, a 1-1 pitch, takes it high. Smith is hitting 7th in the Allen Motor Company order. Right-handed hitter in 13 games, Stantrell batting .263. No homers, 4 RBIs, and 2 triples. Stantrell, with virtually no bend in his knees, rocks his wrists back and forth a la Gary Sheffield. And bounces one to short. Tough backhanded play by Jose Martinez, who throws in time to get Stantrell. A one-hopper, but as it was coming down, Jose Martinez had to backhand it at his right off the dirt, and he threw out Stantrell to end the inning. The Colonels go in order in the top of the second inning, and after an inning and a half here from John O'Donnell Stadium, the score stands Colonels nothing, Swing nothing. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
With spring comes a sound we're all familiar with, lawnmowers. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though instead of bag. It's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
If your spring planting has been delayed by the uncertain spring weather, you can get started now with a visit to Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center for the very best plant selection and all the expert advice you'll need to make your plants grow their very best. Peck's has the answers. The greenhouses at Peck's are bursting with colors, gorgeous hanging baskets, rose bushes, patio plants, blooming annual plants. Peck's has the newest best bloomers for sunny and shady areas and the best producing tomato, vegetable, and herb plants. And if your spring planting includes new landscaping, Peck's has all the expert advice in that realm as well. Choose your landscaping plants and trees from Peck's acres of expertly cared for trees, shrubs, evergreens, and perennial plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, open until 8 o'clock this evening and tomorrow, 5 on weekends. Tex at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. A.J. Van Slyke, left-handed batter, fists the first pitch foul off to the left from Nick Adenhart. The lights are on here at John O'Donnell Stadium. And this ballpark has no grandstand roof. It's an open-air amphitheater-like structure with 15 rows of blue box seats that go from the end of the dugouts around home plate, behind the plate, down the left field line, a big section of aluminum planks, bleachers. And I'll tell you a little bit about a new special seating area they've created here as ball one is in the dirt to Van Slyke. Now a fastball from Nick Adenhart is inside. 2-1 to A.J. Open stance, wide open stance, and a deep batting crouch. Van Slyke takes a letter-high fastball, or a changeup rather, for a strike. A.J. batting as the leadoff man here in the second. No score. He's the DH and the number 5 hitter. Sways back and forth with his hips and hits a rocket fair past first down the right field line. He may get 3 on this one as Renz is just now getting to it in the right field corner. Jordan heaves it into Heinle Stacia, the shortstop, right at second, and A.J. Van Slyke has his 7th double of the year. He ripped a 2-2 pitch fair between the base and Mark Trumbo down the right field line into the corner. She went. So the Swing have a great chance to break out on top tonight with A.J. Van Slyke at second and nobody out. The special seating area that I think originally was designed as a camera well is next to the Colonel dugout. It's to the home plate side of the Colonel dugout at field level, and what they've done is they've installed 8 padded chairs, and I bet they get $15 or $20 a pop for those seats because they're full tonight, and they probably market them as premier field level seats. Either that or they're people that Swing owner Kevin Krause likes to impress with the closest seats to the field. Ball one outside to Adam Rogers, big husky right-handed batter, and he bounces it foul off the railing of the Swing third base dugout. A.J. Van Slyke with the leadoff double here in the second. Adam Rogers batting .252, 1 home run, 15 RBIs. I thought he would try to hit the ball to the right side of the Colonel infield, but it looks like he's going to swing away for a base hit. Rogers is from Rice University in Houston, Texas, a St. Louis 25th round pick last year. He swings and tips a changeup foul at the base of the plate. Strike 2 on Adam Rogers. Adam wears a big, big black balloon elbow pad on his front arm. There was some talk a year or two ago about banning those type of apparatus, especially when Mo Vaughn stood in there as a Red Sox and an Angel and dared a pitcher to hit him. Strike 3 called! A fastball on the outside corner, and Adam Rogers has to walk dejectedly back to the Swing third base dugout. That's the 3rd strikeout for Nick Adenhart. And now it'll take a base hit by either this batter, Simon Williams, or the on-deck hitter, Casey Roulette, if the Swing are to capitalize on the leadoff double by A.J. Van Slyke. Simon Williams, this guy carved us up last year. Right-handed batter, hit .287 in 64 games for Quad City, belted 6 home runs, had 13 doubles with 27 RBIs. He's played in 1 game for Quad Cities. Big Uncle Charlie is mishandled by Flint Whipke for, they call it a ball. Flint now has to trot out to the base of the mound to get his signal straight with Nick Adenhart. The Kernels are wearing their all-blue hats here this evening, with the Kernel logo in red and a white triangle that encases that red logo. Williams stands right on top of the plate, man. A pitch in the dirt. What a stop by Flint Whipke to prevent a wild pitch. Ball 2 to Simon. The Swing are part of a growing number of teams. By my count, 5 or 6 teams in the Midwest League now have the names on the back of their home jerseys. And I never thought when I entered this league in 1996 that any ownership group would spring for that extra effect. Fastball is a strike call at the knees to Simon Williams. Simon is the new kid on the block, having just arrived here from the Florida State League, so his name is not inscrawled upon the back of his white vest top. Williams swings at a changeup and misses, strike two. I have to pinch myself every time Nick Adenhart is on the hill and realize how lucky I am as a broadcaster and baseball fan to get to watch this guy work. He's something. There's a curve high, and it's ball three, and the count's full to Simon Williams. The Centennial Bridge spans across the mighty Mississippi between Davenport, where this stadium is, and Moline, Illinois, the Plow City, world headquarters of John Deere and Company. The payoff delivery. Swing and a tip foul. Flint Whipke just couldn't hold it. And Simon Williams has life. Stantrell Smith is shaded a couple of steps into right center. Renz in right, Madrigal in left. No score, runner at second, one away here in the bottom of the second inning. Adenhart with the next payoff pitch. And it's skied foul way down the right field line over the Colonel right field bullpen. If you haven't made the hour and 20-minute drive over here since this ballpark was refurbished in 2002, I highly recommend and encourage that you do. Encourage you to do that. It is well worth it. Williams takes a curve inside, ball four. It didn't miss by much. Simon Williams walks. First and second, one away for Casey Roulette here in the second inning. One of the swing fans down below has a cowbell, which you can probably hear. Casey Roulette, R-double-L-E-double-T, 192 batter, no homers, 12 RBIs. Casey's from the University of Arkansas, lives in Oklahoma. Played in 21 games for the Swing last year. Split time between here and New Jersey in the New York Penn League. Nick delivers just low, a fastball. Don't know where Nick Adenhart will be pitching later this season, but we hope that he'll be with us the next 3.5 weeks so that he can appear in the All-Star game here in Davenport. Here's a shot into right center for extra bases, I think. On the run, a diving catch by Stantrell Smith. He gets up and throws to first, not in time. Stantrell Smith just robbed the Swing of not one, but 2 runs. Stantrell Smith literally outran that baseball, and I mean Casey Roulette lashed it into right center. Stantrell, with the ball trailing away from him, sped to his left, dove onto his knees, lunged outward, and made a sensational catch in the right center field gap to take 2 runs away from the Swing. That was some play by the Colonel center fielder. His first start in center field as Brad Kuhn gets the evening off, and Smith robbed Casey Roulette of an extra base hit and took 2 runs away from Quad City. Here's Jose Martinez, the number 9 hitter. He grounds one sharply to second. Dallas Morris underhands to the shortstop Stacia, and Nick Adenhart, with great help from center fielder Stantrell Smith, has pitched around a leadoff double and a 1-out walk and prevented the Swing from taking an early lead. The last out of the inning went Morris to the shortstop Stacia, 4-6. No runs for Quad City in the second. 1 hit, a leadoff double, a walk. There were no Colonel errors. The Swing leave a pair and have stranded 3. We go to the top of the third. Scoreless in Davenport. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Diet Pepsi is taking you to the movies. All kinds of movies, like horror films.
Hey, there's a guy with a hockey mask outside. Let's go see what he wants. Okay.
Sci-fi films.
Gentlemen, we're in luck. Those aliens speak American.
Kung fu movies.
Your English voiceover looks terrible. Taste my nunchucks.
Teen Flicks.
I am so ugly. Well, you'd be hot if you ditched your glasses and your nerdy side ponytail. Oh my gosh, I am hot.
Foreign films.
Le French Fries, the French toast.
Les baguettes, les bougelets.
Les croissants.
Crime films. So, did you find anything?
Only this computer disc labeled totally incriminating evidence.
Well, keep looking. Introducing the Diet Pepsi box office promotion. Find a code in specially marked Diet Pepsi packages. Collect and enter codes at dietpepsiboxoffice.com to redeem for a movie ticket, even to action movies.
Well, bad guy's dead. I'll just turn my back. I can't believe you fell for that.
Light, crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi.
Subject to official rules, void where prohibited. 6/30/06. Multiple purchases required. See website for redemption details.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Here we go to the third inning. The Kernels have momentum as Stantrell Smith made an outstanding catch in right center on a ball tagged by Casey Roulette. A number back to the hill by Warner Madrigal. Easy play for the lefty who springs off the mound to his left, and between the line and the mound, it's fielded by Jaime García. He tosses to first. Warner Madrigal on one pitch has dribbled out pitcher to first base. Warner got just a piece of that first pitch and dribbled it. One out on one pitch as Travis Schlichting bats. Kernels hitting .247 as a team, 10th in the 14-team Midwest League. The Kernels have slugged 28 home runs. That's the third highest total in the Midwest League. Here's Travis Schlichting, looking at a strike at the knees. Travis batting for the first time in this game. Top of the third, no score. Those 28 Kernel home runs mean that PRC's Community Care has donated $700 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign, aimed to eliminate hunger in our community. Schlichting takes a change-up blow from Jaime García. This fella grew up in Reynoso, Mexico. A little ripper into shallow right, and it's over the outstretched mid of second baseman Daniel Nelson. It's a Texas League single for Travis Schlichting. Second Kernel hit of the evening. Travis hit that one right off the end of the bat, and it just did sneak over the outstretched, reaching arm of Daniel Nelson. It kerplopped in front of Casey Roulette, the right fielder. The Kernels have one on, one out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby Magallanes tries to stir things up with a hit and run here, or perhaps a bunt and run. Heinle Stacia flew out or lined out to center in the first. A cut fastball is down and in, ball one to Heinle. This swing pitching staff is ranked 11th in the Midwest League with a 4.03 team ERA. Stacia waits, a throw to first. Ooh, and Schlichting got his ankle wrenched on the base. Boy, that's dangerous to get your spikes actually caught on the padding of the base. Travis is trying to walk it off. Holding him at first is Adam Rogers for the swing. No score, and we're in the top of the third inning as switch-hitting shortstop Heinle Stacia waits, a throw to first, and Schlichting back standing up. Game 2 of our upcoming homestand is Saturday, June 3rd, a 7 o'clock start, and thanks to Alliant Energy, you'll enjoy a dazzling fireworks show after the ball game on Saturday, June 3rd. There goes Schlichting. A pitch, a strike, a throw to second. In time, a bang-bang play as Travis jammed his ankle into the second base bag. He's really shaken up. Here comes Eric Munson, the Kernel trainer. It looked like Schlichting wrenched his left knee. Bobby Magallanes is out. Daniel Nelson put the tag on Travis Schlichting as a strike was called to Heinle Stacia. Travis Schlichting caught stealing, and he's hurt. He's leaning between first and second base. being looked at by Eric Munson, and I would not be surprised if Travis is lifted from this game. He went in late, slid feet first, that's a good thing, and he's walking off very gingerly, favoring his left knee. And listen to the hand for Travis Schlichting. So I don't think Travis will be back at third base. Kernels will probably have to put Dallas Morris at third and bring Larry Infante in to play second base because Travis really jammed his left leg into that base. It was a close play at second, but out. Now here's a foul off to the right by Heinle Stacia. I can't be sure that Heinle missed a sign or if Travis was trying to steal on his own. Yes, Larry Infante is warming up down the right field line, and as I said, he'll likely come into the game at second base in the bottom of the third inning. 2 gone now in the Colonel third. Base is empty. No score. Heinle stays alive by tipping a pitch foul behind the plate. The advertising in the outfield here is very limited, but very exclusive. I'll describe what I mean as we go along here. The 1-2 to Stacia. Curve, and he grounds it to third. Big hop for Randy Roth, who throws across the diamond low, but it's dug out by Adam Rogers to end the inning. Heinle Stacia grounds to third, and in the Colonel third inning, no runs. 1 hit, a man caught trying to steal second, Travis Schlichting. There were no Quad City errors, and the Colonels leave. The base is empty and have left 1. Larry Infante will take over at second base for the Colonels, and Dallas Morris will likely go, to third base, as Travis Schlichting had to be lifted from this game. As we go to the home half of the third in Davenport, Colonels nothing, Swing nothing. And you're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Colonels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. Here's a first pitch lined into center, a base hit for Daniel Nelson. Nelson stepped into the first pitch from Colonel righty Nick Adenhart and hammered it into center, where Stantrell Smith gets it back in. Daniel Nelson reached on an error in the first inning, and he singles into center, opening up the swing third inning. Quad City has hit the ball hard so far against Nick Adenhart, but they haven't scored. And as we surmised with the injured leg of Travis Schlichting, Schlicht's been lifted from the ball game. Dallas Morris goes from second to third, and entering the game at second base, Larry Infante. A throw to first, and Daniel Nelson back standing up. A little bit later this evening, a chance for you to earn a prize. I'll be more specific here in a moment, from Bruce Moore in our Bruce Moore Bonanza. The runner goes, and a bouncer to first. Mark Trumbo has it. Only play to first, and Mark kind of hopped over awkwardly to the bag. I hope he didn't wrench anything. Mark Trumbo backhanded that one hopper. He's having a talk with Nick Adenhart. Daniel Nelson was running on the play, so Nelson reaches second as Colby Rasmus bounces out to shallow first. Trumbo unassisted. Mark had to backhand it on one hop. no chance to throw to second. And the Swing for the second inning in a row have a runner at second. They had a runner at second with nobody out in the second inning, didn't score. Here's Bryan Anderson. This guy was 9 for 17 with 5 doubles and 7 RBIs as Clinton took 3 of 4 from the Swing here while we were getting swept at home by first place King County. A change-up is ball 1 low to left-handed hitting Bryan Anderson. Now ball 2 is downstairs. 2 tour passes of the mansion and a Bruce Moore souvenir book will be our rewards for you later this evening in the 5th inning in our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Here's a foul off to the left, and that strike 1 on Bryan Anderson, hitting .330. Left-handed bat. The Cardinals traded Derek Barton, their highly regarded catching prospect, to Oakland in the Mark Mulder deal. Here's Anderson jammed, and he swats the next pitch foul straight back. It's 2-2 now. And as a Cardinal and Angel fan, lifetime Cardinal fan, Angel fan since I've been with the Kernels, boy, Oakland got a lot of mileage already out of Danny Herron, the right-hander the Cardinals gave up for Mark Mulder. Here's a fastball upstairs, and it's a full count to Bryan Anderson. And Oakland is seeing great things out of the former Cardinal catching prospect who played in this Midwest League, Derek Barton. Daniel Nelson at second. The payoff offering instead, a throw to second. The shortstop, Heinle Stacia, snuck in behind Daniel Nelson. Man, Nelson's going to have to ask the Swing equipment and clubhouse manager to go the extra mile for him. His uniform is caked in dirt. A broken bat roller past the mound. Larry Infante has it and sidearms to first in time to get Bryan Anderson. Well, when that ball got to the left of Nick Adenhart, I thought it might be trouble, but Larry Infante remembered who was running, a left-handed batter, but a catcher, and Bryan Anderson was thrown out by Plunny, the batter, as Daniel Nelson went to third. Here's Randy Roth. You think that the Swing would be so bold as to try the totally nonsensical play of taking the bat out of a slugger, and with the infield playing so far back, you think they'd try to have him lay one down with 2 out? I doubt it. A curve and a foul into the bleacher section down the third base side. Every once in a while, though, doing the totally unexpected and going against the book, sometimes it works. But Randy Roth, just too good a slugger to try to have him lay a bunt down with 2 out. A pitch in the dirt. Flint Whipke just saved a run with a fine stop. Lights are on here. We look across the Mississippi River and see the old Rock Island Armory that's now a casino. And you can see the administration building of Augustana College way off on the horizon over the left center field wall. Spanking the 1-2 pitch foul off the third base dugout railing of the Swing is Randy Roth. Roth struck out to end the first inning. Randy is batting .297. Has such a wide stance, you'd think he eliminates a stride. He rolls one to shallow short. Heinle Stacia has it. Plenty of time to get his man. Nick Adenhart again able to pitch around. A leadoff base hit by the Swing for the second straight inning as Randy Roth rolled a worm burner to shallow short, where Heinle Stacia, who, by the way, has played sensational defense all year, made the play to end the inning. No runs in the third for Quad City. A leadoff single, 1 hit, no Colonel errors. The Swing leave a runner aboard. They've now stranded 4 in their first 3 at-bats. And after 3 here in Davenport, it's still the Kernels and Quad City scoreless. And you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Through 3 innings at Davenport, 2 hits for each ball club, no runs. Marco Albano may try to bunt his way on here against lefty Jaime García. It'll be Albano, Renz, and Morris. Kernels have a couple of Texas League singles off the lefty Garcia. Travis Schlichting had to leave the ball game in the top of the 3rd inning after he was thrown out trying to steal second. And that means Larry Infante will bat in the number 9 position in the Allen Motor Company order. Larry came in to play second in the bottom of the 3rd, and Dallas Morris, the second baseman, went to 3rd base. Albano bunts foul, and that's strike 1. You just kind of knew that that's what Marco would try to do to open up the inning in a scoreless game. Boy, it's amazing how many guys at all levels of pro baseball struggle to get a bunt down in play. It is a monumentally difficult task to master. You have to work on it hour after hour with live pitching. A backdoor breaking pitch is outside. 1-1 to Albano. Marco struck out in the 1st inning. The best I ever saw was Maury Wills at bunting lane bunts down for base hits. Second best I ever saw was Rod Carew. And probably the 3rd best was Kenny Lofton or Lenny Dykstra. Those guys could bunt in any situation, whether it be for a sacrifice, a squeeze, or a base hit. A pitch in the dirt, and Albano takes it for ball 2. The Figge Art Museum is a great tourist attraction here. It's only 2 blocks from the ballpark. Of course, gaming has been a big part of this community for a number of years. A fastball upstairs, and Marco's ahead 3-1. Albano, a right-handed hitter, wears a long-sleeve red shirt underneath his Colonel Gray road uniform. The swing in their white home uniforms with baby blue hats, socks, and sleeves. Here's a sharply hit grounder to first, and Adam Rogers gloves it. The first baseman makes the play unassisted. Marco Albano got a pitch to his liking on a 3-1 count and hit it on the ground to the first baseman, who made the play unassisted. Well, thanks to Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm, Jordan Renz, the Colonel batter, and I, and Assistant Sonia Massey, were at 2 elementary schools this morning, encouraging those girls and boys to read, from Hoover Elementary, where Principal Brian Kroeb welcomed us, and at Arthur Elementary, where Principal Bill Utterback was on hand to get the kids revved up and to pay attention. Ball 1 low to Renz. Now Jordan tried to hold up on a pitch down and in. He did, according to the base umpire, and it's 2-0 to Jordan Renz, who dumped a Texas League single into right in the 1st and then went to second on a balk but was stranded. Jordan rips one past 3rd into left. That's a base hit. I thought the 3rd baseman, who reached out like he was trying to stop traffic, Randy Roth, might have had a play on that, but Renz just crushed it. And Jordan's 2 for 2. Jordan Renz rips a single past third. Randy Roth reached out, shoulder height, and the ball just whizzed past his mitt into left field. Jordan's 2 for 2. 1 on, 1 out for Dallas Morris. Jordan Renz was so great with the kids this morning at Hoover and Arthur and was very humble and modest. In fact, I had to pipe up and tell the kids about his record-tying 10 RBI night in Clinton almost 2 weeks ago. Ball went upstairs to Dallas Morris. Jordan played our chief character in The Bat Boy and His Violin, a story about the Negro Leagues after Jackie Robinson became the first African-American to play in the big leagues. The Negro Leagues were still going in the mid to late 50s. Ball 2 is a slider in the dirt to Morris, and that prompts a visit to the hill by swing catcher Bryan Anderson. Well, let's describe these Quad City uniforms in a little greater detail. The term could be baby blue, UCLA blue, North Carolina blue, powder blue. Those are the colors of the hats, the sleeves that protrude from the white vest, and the socks. The numbers are burnt orange, a la Texas. And they're trimmed in black. They're rather futuristic. The first digit, if you have a 2-digit number, is smaller than the second one. Dallas on a 2-0 pitch from Garcia. Breaks his bat and dumps it into center. That falls in front of Colby Rasmus, who has it on one hop. And stopping at second is Jordan Renz. And the Kernels have a viable scoring threat here in the fourth with 1 out. Renz ripped a single to left. Dallas Morris is followed by dropping one into shallow center as he broke his bat. In fact, the Kernel equipment manager is hustling back to the Kernel dugout, examining the damage that Dallas Morris did to that lumber. And here's Brian Eversgerd coming out to the hill, the former Cardinal lefty, tall fella, known as Gertie in the swing clubhouse. Sunday, June 4th, is a red-letter date at the ballpark. It's a family fun Sunday. That means the Kernels will be signing autographs from 1:20 until 1:40. Popcorn's only $1. Thanks to Velocity Sports Performance, you can run the bases after the game. And get this, Bird Zirk will be there, the funny, lovable, zany mascot that entertains folks of all ages around the country. And Perfect Game USA will be presenting baseball cards. I'll have to check with Colonel General Manager Jack Rader and see. I believe there'll be 1,000 set of baseball cards. I'm just not sure who they'll go to, whether they'll go to kids 12 and under or the first 1,000 fans. Jack has it right here. The first 1,000 of you Colonel fans will receive those baseball cards. Flint Whipkey whistles the first pitch foul straight back. So it's the first 1,000 of you Colonel fans to come to the game Sunday, June 2nd. The gates open at 1. It's a 2 o'clock start. You'll receive the free set of Colonel baseball cards, compliments of Perfect Game. 2 on, 1 out here in the fourth, no score. And ball 1 is outside to Flint Whipkey, a fastball from Jaime García. Renz at second, Morris at first, and the lefty steps off. Just a few light showers have fallen here. We arrived here just before 3 o'clock. The 1-1 to Flint. Swing and a foul. Flint had a pitch in his wheelhouse and fouled it straight back. Whipkey's in the hole 1-2. Flint could give the Kernels a lead. The number 5 hitter, Whipkey, hitting .258, 1 homer, 13 RBIs for Flint. Wears his gray road trousers all the way down to his shoe tops, straightaway stance, holds his elbow high and points it back to the backstop, and fouls one past first. A curveball. Flint waited back on it and hit it pretty sharply between Colonel. Now, wait a minute. Is that Eric Owens out at first base? No, it is not. Brad Kuhn Brad Kuhn is coaching first. That means Eric Owens is having a chance to analyze the Colonel batters from a different vantage point in the Colonel dugout. A pitch in the dirt, and Renz broke towards third, but then thought better of it as Bryan Anderson tracked it down just a few feet to his left. Flint Whipkey's even on the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think Todd Brummelkamp's going to take Tom Kelly and Gary Shubat up on an offer of a nice cold refreshment here later on. Breaking pitch high, and that's ball 3 to Flint Whipkey. Some folks sitting on the short grass slope seating berm above the right field wall with a blanket. I'm surprised they let people lean against the wall. They're doing that down the line and left and over the right field wall as well. The runners go! And a high fly ball into right center. Both runners will have to return. Casey Roulette has it, and 2 gone here in the Colonel 4th inning. We'll credit Flint Whipkey for putting the ball in play, but unfortunately he hit a high fly ball to shallow right, and the runners who were going, Renz from second, Morris at first, had to retreat back to their bases. And it's up now to Mark Trumbo, who struck out on 3 pitches in the 2nd inning. Boy, was that day off nice yesterday. Such a great turnout for the Colonel Foundation golf outing in Schellsburg at Wildcat. Everybody came away invigorated and relaxed at the same time. Ball 1 way high as Bryan Anderson had to reach way over his head. Bryan's wearing a hockey goalie-like mask. Most folks came away with some sun and windburn. Nothing wrong with that in late May, is there? Mark Trumbo laces one into right. Casey Roulette's right there and has it. Mark got good wood on it, but flies to right to end the Colonel 4th inning threat. No runs in the 4th for the Colonels. 2 hits. There were no swing errors, and the Colonels strand a pair and have left 3. Credit Jaime García for getting Flint Whipkey and Mark Trumbo to fly to right and keep the Colonels from striking first here tonight. After 3.5 in Quad Cities, in Davenport specifically, it's the Colonels and Quad City, no score. And you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
For Quad Cities, the numbers 5, 6, and 7 men in manager Keith Mitchell's order. No score. Bottom of the 4th. A.J. Van Slyke ripped a double pass first, his first time up. He tops one slowly to first. Mark Trumbo bobbles it, and that'll be an error on the Colonel first baseman. It had a lot of spin on it. The grass is wet, Mark came in, and you could just see trouble written all over that one. They've said E4, but the error is on the first baseman, Mark Trumbo, and A.J. Van Slyke reaches for the second time this evening, and it's the second Kernel error of this game. Mark had to come in. It was a little topper to the right side of the plate, and after Trumbo fumbled it, he had no play, and A.J. Van Slyke is aboard. A.J. has 3 steals and 4 tries. He's running. Here's a ball squibbed to the right side. Nick Adenhart cuts across, gloves it, and sprints to first for an unassisted put-out. A.J. Van Slyke is at second with only 1 out. Adam Rogers on a hit and run put the ball in play, squirted it to the right of the plate, and Nick Adenhart said, what the heck, I've got a straight shot from the mound to first. I'll pick up that little roller with my glove hand and then just keep right on sprinting, and that's what Adenhart did, cutting in front of Mark Trumbo for the unassisted out. Now for the 3rd inning in a row, the Swing have a runner in scoring position with less than 2 out. Simon Williams walked his first time up. The Centennial Bridge is breathtaking beyond the right field wall as a changeup is swung on and missed. Strike 1 on Williams. The steel girder, all vaulted arches have white lights adorning them, not only for beautiful aesthetic appeal, but for aircraft. Uh-oh, here's a pitch in the dirt. Whipkey no throw, and that'll be a wild pitch, the 8th charge this season on Nick Adenhart. Well, that really hurts because now there's a runner at third with only 1 out. Flint did all he could. He tried to keep it in front of him, but it got behind him, and then when he went to try to plant his feet just outside the dirt batting circle, the ground gave way. Flint slipped, and on to third goes A.J. Van Slyke, and now the Kernel infield is forced to come in for the play at the plate. Now the Swing have just a golden opportunity to break out on top here tonight. A pitch in the dirt, a changeup, blocked by Whipkey to save a run. Ball 2 to Simon Williams. This guy is just almost impossible for our ball club to retire. At least he was last year. And he has drawn a walk in one at bat tonight. He leans right out over the plate and swings and misses. Strike 2. Now, wait a minute. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yes, 2 and 2 to Simon Williams. Would Nick Adenhart love a pop-up or strikeout here? Or a ground ball to a Kernel infielder on the drawn-in infield? Curve! Oh, boy, ball 3. Not sure where that curveball was. It looked pretty good from here, but I got a little bit too excited, I guess. Ball 3, said the man in blue. Ooh, that curveball looked good to Simon Williams. Swing and a miss! Nick Adenhart pulled the string, a changeup, and he gets Simon Williams for the 2nd out of the inning. Nick Adenhart records his 4th strikeout of the game, and now the infield can go back to normal depth. The Kernels aren't out of the woods yet. You have to guard against a 2-out squeeze by Casey Roulette. Roulette hit the ball right on the nose and was robbed of an extra base hit by Stantrell Smith in right center back in the 2nd inning. A curve, and it looked good from here, but ball 1 according to the plate umpire. We'll be taking your emails in the top of the 5th inning for our Bruce Moore Bonanza. A grounder to short. Stacia has it on a tough hop, unloads from near the bag at second for the final out of the inning. The Swing had a runner at third with only 1 out. Nick Adenhart did it again. He struck out Simon Williams. He got Casey Roulette to ground out to short. No runs for Quad City in the 4th. No hits. 1 Kernel error, our 2nd of the evening. Quad City leaves a runner aboard. They've stranded 5. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, log on now to www.brucemore.org for your chance to participate and earn 2 tour passes to the mansion and a Bruce Moore souvenir book with our Bruce Moore Bonanza coming up next. After 4, still the Kernels nothing, the Swing nothing, here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Quad City unable to come through with anything when needed. Had runners at second, a runner at second with nobody out in the second, a runner at second with one out in the third, a runner at third with one out in the fourth, and Nick Adenhart prevented the swing from scoring. Here we go to the fifth, and Stantrell Smith stands in and wallops the first pitch hard but foul, out of play down the right field line. If you've already won in our Bruce Moore Bonanza, please play along wherever you're tuned in. But don't email us. My email address is simple, john@kernels.com, John at Kernels, Kernels. A chopper past third foul, and Stantrell's in the hole, 0-2. To find the answer to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question, simply log on to their website, www.brucemore.org. Then email me here in Davenport, john@kernels.com, John at Kernels, Kernels.com. And with that in mind, here's the Bruce Moore Bonanza. Here's a high fly ball down the line in right. Casey Roulette on the run, makes the one-handed grab. Stantrell Smith flies to right, the third Colonel in a row to do that. The good part about that, or the good observation, is the Colonels aren't trying to pull lefty Jaime García. Here's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Please email me with your name and address so we can mail you your reward if you're our winner. What is the name of the Bruce Moore flower shop that creates stunning garden-style arrangements for all occasions? A ground ball spanked to second by Madrigal. Warner's had two swings at lefty Jaime García, rolled out to him in the first inning, and now grounds out to Daniel Nelson, 2 away on 4 pitches here in the fifth inning. Well, we knew Jaime García was this good of a pitcher when we saw him last Friday clash with our 7-game winner, Nick Adenhart. We knew Garcia had this kind of stuff. Colonels have only really hit 2 balls hard off of him all evening. Here's the first at-bat for Larry Infante. We'll give you that Bruce Moore Bonanza question again as Larry takes the strike call. Lefty against lefty matchup here. What is the name of the Bruce Moore flower shop that creates stunning garden-style arrangements for all occasions? Email me with your answer and your mailing address, and you'll likely come away a winner of a pair of mansion passes, tour passes, and a Bruce Moore souvenir book. Ball 1 to Larry Infante. Larry hitting .197 in 21 games. A chopper is second. Easy for Daniel Nelson, and he throws Larry out. Larry, with his average on the rise, .197, had hit safely in every game since returning to the Colonels from his short stint at AAA Salt Lake, where he joined the Bees in Des Moines. The Colonels go quickly and in order in the top half of the fifth inning. Let me give you that Bruce Moore Bonanza question one more time here from Davenport. Remember, you'll find the answer on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org, and you'll email me the answer right here in Davenport at john@kernels.com, John at Kernels, KERNELS.com. What is the name of the Bruce Moore flower shop that creates stunning garden-style arrangements for all occasions? What's the name of that Bruce Moore flower shop? Email me now. As we go to the bottom of the fifth inning in Davenport, still no score between the Kernels and the Swing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physical Therapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physical Therapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Nick Adenhart has found the strike zone with the fastball against Jose Martinez, who now swats the 0-1 pitch foul off to the right. We're located right behind home plate on the suite level here at John O'Donnell Stadium. The suites here were a source of contention earlier this spring, and we hope to delve into that. A curveball is a worm burner to deep third. Dallas Morris throws into... Oh, no! Oh, they've called the batter safe. Mark Trumbo is arguing with the base umpire. Here comes Bobby Magallanes. They've called Jose Martinez safe, even though Trumbo came off the base and then tagged Martinez. The base umpire said Trumbo missed him, and an error will be charged on Dallas Morris, the third Colonel error of this game. Ooh, Bobby Magallanes all over the base umpire, who I do believe might have missed that call. Dallas Morris knew that Jose Martinez was a speedy runner. So what he did is he got rid of it quickly. It was a slow roller to third. Martinez, as the throw sailed to the home plate side of the bag, came off. Mark Trumbo came off, caught the peg, and then looked to tag out Jose Martinez. Martinez, much like a bull trying to avoid the or steer clear of a matador, somehow avoided being tagged according to the umpire. He's not going to change his call, unfortunately. He's explaining what he saw. I don't think Bobby's arguing that Jose Martinez left the baseline. I think he's arguing that there was no way Trumbo could have missed him because Mark was guarding the base. He was right in front of the base. So how could Martinez get around Mark Trumbo without being tagged? Ooh, a tough call goes against the Kernels, our third error of the evening. The number 9 hitter rolled one to third. Dallas Morris perhaps rushed his throw a bit too much, but he's charged with an error. The third chalked up on the Colonel side this evening. Unbelievable. Well, Nick Adenhart once again has to test his guile and his ability and pitch around an adverse situation not of his own creation. Now Bobby may be run from this game. He's all over the base or the plate umpire now, who's heard enough. The plate umpire is having to admonish Bobby Magallanes and ask him to hold off on any more criticism. Bobby did have a just argument. I honestly don't know how Jose Martinez avoided that tag. I'm not quite frankly sure that he did. But according to the base umpire, he did. And now the leadoff batter, who's reached on an error and singled, Daniel Nelson, is up. Jose Martinez may be running. He draws a throw, and he's back without a tag. Oh, the Kernels have made 3 errors tonight. Well, poor Dallas Morris has made one at second and one at third. Nelson, switch hitter batting left, takes a changeup outside, ball 1. It looks like we're going to stump you on our Bruce Moore Bonanza this evening. I don't think no one was able to come up with the correct answer, so we'll try again tomorrow in the 5th inning to see if we can entice you to go onto the Bruce Moore website and earn a pair of mansion passes, tour passes, and a Bruce Moore souvenir book in our Bruce Moore Bonanza. It's a lot of fun to participate. Here's a bunt foul towards the swing third base dugout, strike 1 on Daniel Nelson. Haven't mentioned the scoreboard here yet. It is high and beyond the left center field wall. It is flanked by a pair of synthetic brick-like supports, a couple of narrow brick towers, and in between the scoreboard, and they have an outstanding video board here. A little bit more difficult to read than ours is at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Ours is closer to the plate and is in right center field. 1 on, nobody out for the swing here in the 5th inning, no score. A throw to first, and Martinez dives back in safely. Daniel Nelson has Dallas Morris in on the grass at third, trying to guard against a bunt. Can Nelson reach for the 3rd straight time? A swing on a changeup and a miss. Nick Adenhart left that changeup up in the zone, but Daniel Nelson was still way out in front of it, strike 2. Well, I'll say this. Any thoughts of promoting Nick Adenhart? At least tonight we know that he's had to really work. I don't want to say labor, but he has had to pitch out of some very, very tough spots. Can he do it again? A double play ball to short. Stacia has it, boots it, steps on second, throws in time! Hindley Stacia has started a 6-3 twin killing. Oh, brother! Daniel Nelson hit it hard on 2 hops up the middle. Hindley Stacia lost the handle, recovered near the bag, stepped on second, threw to first, double play. It went 6-3. And the bases are empty for Colby Rasmus. Oh, brother. Nick Adenhart, what else can he do to show us his courage out there? A lot of guys would wilt when calls go against them or when their fielders kind of let them down, but Nick's not that kind of guy. He's not an excuse maker. He's not a finger pointer. He's a doer. And he misses outside. It's 2-0 to Colby Rasmus, who has struck out and grounded to first. Rasmus is a very dangerous hitter. He's tied for 3rd in the league with 52 hits. The 2-0 from the Colonel 19-year-old. Nub back to the mound. Adenhart has it, looks at the baseball, fires a strike to Mark Trumbo to end the inning. The swing let another great scoring chance slip out of their grasp. They had their number 9 hitter aboard on a throwing error by the 3rd baseman, but did not score. No runs for the swing in the 5th. No hits, 1 Colonel error, our 3rd of the evening, and a double play. Quad City leaves the bases empty. Can the Kernels find some offense as we go to the top of the 6th inning? It's still a scoreless duel here in Davenport, and you're enjoying it on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
No score here in Davenport as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Let's review some finals from earlier today on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, and Gary Shubat. This afternoon in Kansas City, the Royals were handed their 13th straight loss. It was Detroit 13 and the Royals 8 at Kauffman Stadium. Baltimore blanked the Mariners out at Safeco Field this afternoon 2-0. Heinle Stacia pops one foul. There will be a play for Adam Rogers. The Colonel leadoff batter slicing it off the end of his bat is fouled out to first. One gone here in the 6th inning. No score. Again, Baltimore 2, the Mariners nothing in Seattle today. This afternoon in our nation's capital, the Nationals beat the Astros 8-5, and Philadelphia whipped the Mets 5-3 at Shea Stadium. Tonight, in the only 2 night games at Fenway Park, the Red Sox in the top of the 7th lead the Devil Rays 3-0, and the Athletics are on top of the Rangers 4-0 in the 5th inning at the ballpark in Arlington, Ameriquest Field. That complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn. Strike one call to Marco Albano. No score here in the 6th. Marco chops it to third, waiting for the second hop Randy Roth, and he fires to first just in time. And that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row retired by Jaime García, the outstanding southpaw for the swing. Jordan Renz has 2 of the Colonel 4 hits. He singled to right in the first inning, then smacked a base hit into left his last time up. Colby Rasmus is playing very deep in center for the swing. And Renz rattles the first pitch foul straight back. Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim organization. AAA Salt Lake raised their record to 27-18 behind former Colonel lefty Joe Saunders. First-round pick out of Virginia Tech a few years back. Joe went the distance, a 6-hitter, as the Bees bombed New Orleans 8-0. Strike 2 on the outside edge to Renz, a changeup. Garcia tried to set the side down in order for the 3rd time in 6 innings. Can Renz battle back? Look out! He hits one sharply into the first base seats. Hope nobody's shaken up by that one. Former Colonel shortstop Adam Patkovich socked his 5th home run, and former Colonel All-Star second baseman and Midwest League batting champ Howie Kendrick 2 for 4 with 2 doubles for Salt Lake in their win. AA Arkansas didn't fare as well as they bowed to Frisco 5-4, but former Colonel All-Star shortstop Brandon Wood belted his 9th home run of the year. A swing and a tipped foul into the middle of the catcher Bryan Anderson. Jordan Renz, the first Colonel, or the first time he's been set down this evening, and that's strikeout number 3 for Jaime Garcia. 8 in a row set down by the sensational 19-year-old Quad City lefty. And the Colonels go in order for the 3rd time tonight. We'll tell you about what Rancho Cucamonga did. There's an interesting twist to that on Halo happenings. After 5.5, nothing but goose eggs, no score, Colonels and swing. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids. Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Here we go to the bottom of the sixth inning, and it'll be Bryan Anderson, the 19-year-old left-handed batter for the Swing, to lead it off against Nick Adenhart. No score. Bryan lifts the first pitch foul over the third base bleachers, strike one. And on this Thursday evening, an announced crowd of 1,211. Anderson drills it into the left center field gap. Nobody going to get this one, and it's a tweener. Extra bases. The center fielder, Stantrell Smith, gets it back into the cutoff man, Heinle Stacia. It's a leadoff double for Bryan Anderson. And here we go again with a tough scenario, staring Nick Adenhart right between the eyes. A leadoff double by Bryan Anderson as he drilled it between Warner Madrigal and Stantrell Smith into the left center field gap. Leadoff double for Bryan Anderson. Boy, you just wonder, when are the Swing going to finally break through? They've had chance after chance after chance. This is the second time they have a leadoff double against the Colonel right-hander, Nick Adenhart. Swing and a miss on a changeup by Randy Roth. Rancho Cucamonga, behind former Colonel Nick Green, who upped his record to 5-2, they shelled High Desert last night 8-1. Nick Green had a 4-hitter. And you're not going to believe who his shutout was spoiled by. The only run scored by High Desert, a solo home run off the bat of former Colonel catcher Tommy Duenas. Tommy, batting .203 for the High Desert Ball Club, spoiled Nick Green's shutout bid in an 8-1 Rancho Cucamonga win. Tommy Duenas, the home run. Ball 2 low and away to Randy Roth. No score here, but the Swing, for the fourth time this evening in 6 innings, have a runner in scoring position. Bryan Anderson at second with nobody out. The Swing are trying to hand Nick Adenhart his first loss of the year. The Kernels, meanwhile, are trying to beat Jaime García for the second time in less than a week. Lining one foul off to the right, strike two, is cleanup batter Randy Roth. 11 home runs to lead the Midwest League. 34 RBIs, second only to our own Jordan Renz. Rancho Cucamonga's record, 24-22. Breaking pitch, grounded to third. Morris looks the runner back to second and throws the batter out. Dallas Morris, on a two-hopper, had to look Bryan Anderson back to second before he tossed across the diamond to get Randy Roth one away here in the Swing sixth inning. And it'll take a base hit now from either A.J. Van Slyke or Adam Rogers. Van Slyke has been a tough out tonight. He doubled to open up the second, and then reached on an error by first baseman Mark Trumbo to lead off the fourth inning. A.J. Van Slyke, big kid, takes low for ball one, and Flint Whipke darts out to the mound to have a word with 19-year-old Colonel right-hander Nick Adenhart. Boy, it's hard to believe that former Colonel James Holcomb, who's pitching for Arkansas AA tonight, is 0-4. Holcomb was a very fine-looking prospect when he was a Colonel. I think it's been 3 years ago. James has had to overcome some arm woes, but boy, he was a good-looking prospect. Van Slyke fouls one high in the air off to the left. 1,211 here tonight at John O'Donnell Stadium. Here's a foul into the screen, strike 2. I have let you down, folks. Stantrell Smith is now in left field, and Brad Kuhn is in right. That must mean Warner Madrigal was shaken up, running hard to first base when he grounded out his last time up. So Smith is in left, Kuhn in center, and a little roller to first. Can Mark Trumbo handle this one? No, Nick Adenhart does. Nick had, now the swinger claiming Nick Adenhart missed the base, but the umpire says Nick tagged for... Now, wait a minute. No, he's out. Adenhart sprinted over to his left and cut that slow roller off, and the batter, A.J. Van Slyke, is exchanging some words with Nick Adenhart, or the umpire, I'm not sure which, with the umpire. Adenhart appeared to straddle the base, but he must have gotten just a piece of it. That's Nick's second unassisted putout tonight. A ground out up the first baseline by A.J. Van Slyke advances Bryan Anderson, the go-ahead run in this game, to third base. Runner at third, 2 out for Adam Rogers. Curve of beauty, strike 1 called. The Swing have had chance after chance to take the lead in this game, but thus far they have not been able to get the big hit they've been looking for. Adam Rogers is struck out looking and grounded back to... a bouncer over the hill into center, a base hit. 1-0 Quad City. It was a matter of time. Adam Rogers chopped it hard over the hill into center, and Quad City leads it here in the 6th inning, 1-0. Adam Rogers didn't hit it particularly hard. In fact, he pounded it into the dirt in front of home plate, but it vaulted over Adenhart's head. No chance for Larry Infante behind the base at second. A 2-out single by Adam Rogers, and the Swing have finally taken advantage of a scoring chance. The leadoff double by Bryan Anderson results in a run here in the 6th inning, 1-0 Quad City. And with as anemic of an offense as we've had most of the year, you just hope that one run isn't enough to stand up in this game. Ball 1 low and away, a fastball to Simon Williams. Oh, man, a bouncer over the hill. Larry Infante, after it got over Adenhart's head, did his best, but even if Larry had gotten a glove on it, the runner from third would have scored with 2 out. It was a base hit all the way. A breaking pitch low, ball 2 to Simon Williams. 6th inning, 1-0 Quad City. Francisco Rodriguez Jr. pitching for Rancho Cucamonga tonight. He's 1-4. Two and 1 now to Simon Williams. There's an Uncle Charlie, and the plate umpire called it low, ball 3. Now, wait a minute. Are there 2 Francisco Rodriguez's on the Rancho roster? Oh, I'm sorry, Todd. Fernando Rodriguez. How many times did I call him Francisco last year? Hundreds. Yes. Not Fernando Rodriguez. Francisco Rodriguez. And the count full, the runner goes with 2 out. There's strike 3 call to Simon Williams on the outside corner. So the Swing finally capitalized on a scoring chance, getting a leadoff double from Bryan Anderson. He scores on a 2-out base wrap up the middle by Adam Rogers. In the 6th, 1 run for the Swing on 2 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and Quad City leaves a man aboard. They've stranded 6. Can the Colonel offense come to life as we go to the 7th inning? It's Quad City now on top, 1-0. And you're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town of Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Colonel cleanup batter Dallas Morris, the last man to reach against lefty Jaime García with a broken bat single into center in the fourth inning. Will lead off here in the top of the seventh. 1-0 Quad Cities. Morris rips one down the line and left, extra bases. Dallas Morris will likely have his sixth double of the year as Simon Williams retrieves it at the base of the wall, and Dallas Morris has doubled leading off the seventh inning. The Kernels have a great chance to tie it here in the seventh as Dallas Morris hammered a double down the left field line. Now will Flip Whipke hit the ball to the right side of the swing infield, or will he try to bunt Dallas Morris to third, or will Bobby Magallanes let Whipke, who's a right-handed batter, swing away? Those are the questions that will be answered momentarily as the swing corner infielders, Roth at third, Rogers at first, shorten up a bit for a possible bunt. But Whipke swings away and tips it foul at the feet of the umpire. Well, earlier this afternoon I encountered some unexpected challenges getting our phone line situated here from Davenport, and Todd Brummelkamp, who's here tonight, just very calmly, as I was freaking out as usual about the challenges of the new equipment, Todd opened a new book that I bought on the off day down in Iowa City. I had a meeting at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics yesterday morning and got a chance to stop at my favorite haunch down in Iowa City, the Prairie Lights Bookstore. And I bought a new book by Rob Nyer called Baseball's Most Spectacular Blunders or something of that sort. It's not a negative book. It's a very interesting book. And I said, Todd, while I'm struggling with this equipment, how about helping me with a baseball fun fact? Whipke drives a 1-1 pitch foul off to the right, strike two. And Todd came up with a dandy that ties into Babe Ruth's final year. We told you that Babe hit 3 home runs, numbers 712, 713, and 714, as a member of the Boston Braves in 1935 at Forbes Field. The last one Babe hit clear out of the ballpark in Pittsburgh. And it also has a connection to the struggling Royals. Kansas City lost its 13th in a row today to Detroit at Kauffman Stadium. Their record now 10-35. The 1-2 to Flint. Swing and a miss, a changeup, and now they'll take a base hit from Mark Trumbo or Stantrell Smith to try to chase home the tying run here in the seventh inning. A devastating changeup by Jaime García, and that's a big strikeout as he prevents Flint from getting Morris from second to third. Here's our baseball fun fact. In the seventh inning, 1-0 swing, Morris at second, Trumbo the batter. Contrary to popular belief, the 1962 Mets were not the worst team of the 20th century, even though they had that record of 40-120. Under Casey Stengel, a .250 winning percentage. The 1935 Boston Braves, a National League team with whom Babe Ruth ended his career, had a lower winning percentage than the 62 Mets, .248. They were 38. There goes the runner! A pitch outside, the throw to third, Morris! Out on a head-first slide. Dallas Morris thrown out at third for the second out of the inning. The caught stealing goes 2-5, and that is a pivotal play in this game. Dallas Morris, trying to steal third after Flint Whipke couldn't get him over, is thrown out at third. Wow, we just keep in this really disheartening cycle of Bouncer up the middle, and it's backhanded by Daniel Nelson. He throws off balance in the dirt, takes a hit away from Mark Trumbo. Trumbo out at first base. Boy, this is getting to be almost ridiculous, the lack of support our offense has given a very, very fine pitching staff. In the 7th inning, leadoff double for Dallas Morris, no runs. One hit, a man caught trying to steal third for the second out. There were no swing errors. The Kernels leave, nobody aboard. Our baseball fun fact, the 1935 Boston Braves won 38, lost 115, a winning percentage of .248, lower than that of the 62 Mets. The Royals this year, 10-35, have a .285 winning percentage. That's our baseball fun fact. 7th inning stretch here at John O'Donnell Stadium, 1-0 Quad City. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team, Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Leading off for the swing in the 7th inning and lining one into left where Stantrell Smith comes in 2 quick steps to stab it is Casey Roulette. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Dallas Morris with a leadoff double in the top of this 7th, tying run at second. After Flint Whipke struck out, Dallas tried to steal third and he was thrown out. And then Mark Trumbo grounded out up the middle. So it's still a 1-0 game. Swing. Nick Adenhart's pitch to the number 9 hitter, Jose Martinez, is stroked on 1 hop to third, and Dallas Morris throws out Jose Martinez 2 away here in the 7th inning. Nick Adenhart will likely be lifted after this 7th inning. The Kernels have lefty Brad Beck warming up down the right field line. Brad Beck will likely take over in the bottom of the 8th inning. What will the score be? Right now it's 1-0 Quad City. Here's a ground ball hard underneath the glove of Trumbo into right, and rounding first is Daniel Nelson. He'll hold on, and that'll be the 4th Colonel error. Nope, they've given the batter, Daniel Nelson, a hit. In Mark Trumbo's defense, Nelson hit it hard, but it looked to be a play that Mark might have been able to make. It's a base hit for Daniel Nelson, and he'll likely be running here with 2 out with his team ahead 1-0. A single off Mark Trumbo's glove. Colby Rasmus, 0 for 3, drills it into left, sending Stantrell Smith back, and Stantrell calmly drifts back and makes the one-handed catch. In front of the warning track, Colby Rasmus sent it a long way the opposite way, but it was flagged down by Stantrell Smith. Remember, Brad Kuhn will bat in this game because Warner Madrigal was lifted. I don't know if Warner shook himself up or he didn't hustle down the line to Bobby Magallanes' liking, but Kuhn will bat in this 8th inning. In the 7th, no runs for the swing, 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. Quad City leaves 1. They've stranded 7. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Quad City leads it 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet
you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellow Book combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Stantrell Smith will lead off here in the 8th inning against Jaime García, with a right-hander starting to work for Quad Cities in their left field bullpen. 1-0 Quad Cities, a fastball inside to Smith. The Kernels have had just 2 scoring chances so far here tonight. Back-to-back singles by Renz and Morris in the 4th inning. First and second, 1 out. Didn't score. And then a leadoff double by Dallas Morris in the 7th inning, but Dallas was caught trying to steal third with 1 out. Strike 1 at the knees to Stantrell, who is grounded to short and flown to right. Smith, Kuhn, and Infante here in the top of the 8th inning. Changeup is nubbed to third. Laying back, Randy Roth, plenty of time, and he throws Stantrell out, 1 away here in the Colonel 8th inning. Well, you knew that this was going to be a great display of pitching tonight. We've seen that and more from Jaime García and Nick Adenhart. And we thought that 1 run might win the game. The Kernels are trying to put a wrench in that theory by scoring here in the late innings. 1 out. Brad Kuhn will likely try to bunt his way on. He's the batting for the first time tonight, lefty against lefty. Kuhn squares to bunt and takes low and away, ball 1. The right-hander working in the Quad City bullpen is Brian Stitt, S-T-I-T-T. Brad bounces 1 to second. Daniel Nelson has it and flips to first. 2 gone here in the 8th inning. Here's Larry Infante with the bases empty and 2 away. 1-0 Quad City. They scored a run on a double in the 6th inning by Bryan Anderson leading off. He advanced to third on a ground ball out by A.J. Van Slyke. He was at third with 2 out when Adam Rogers bounced one over the hill into center for the go-ahead run in this game. Larry Infante fouls one hard straight back, strike 1. So Brad Beck will likely take over for Nick Adenhart. Each team has 5 hits tonight. Nick Adenhart struck out 5, walked only 1. Yet he could be hung with his first loss of the year. Larry Infante, a hard swing and a miss on a fastball, clocked at 91 miles an hour, according to the Quad City Times speed pitch indicator, the lower panel of the scoreboard and left. So Jaime García reached back for a little extra on that pitch. The 19-year-old southpaw is 0-2. Swing and a miss, another fastball, 89 miles an hour. Jaime García can smell a victory. The Kernels will try to get it done, if they can hold Quad City in the bottom of the 8th, that is. The Kernels will likely try to get it done against reliever Brian Stitt. But a long way to go before we bat in the 9th inning. After 7.5, the Kernels trail the swing 1-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Peck's Flower and Garden Shop stands ready to serve you in your planting and landscape needs. Peck's is open until 8 o'clock on weeknights, 5 o'clock on weekends, and their greenhouses are full of bursting colors, perennials, annual plants, blooming annual plants. Peck's has the newest best bloomers for sunny and shady areas and the best producing tomato, vegetable, and herb plants. The greenhouses at Peck's bursting with colors, gorgeous hanging baskets, rose bushes, patio plants, and blooming annuals. Visit Peck's Flower and Garden Center, where Peck's knowledgeable staff is ready to answer your plant and gardening questions. They've been growing with the Cedar Rapids area for 50 years. Peck's Flower and Garden Shop. Well, Nick Adenhart will set sail in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is the longest Nick has gone in a ball game. He faces Bryan Anderson, who doubled and scored the game's only run in the 6th inning. Ball 1, low and in, and it's 1-1 to Bryan Anderson. 1-0 swing here in the bottom of the 8th inning with Tim DeJurgis, a right-hander, and Brad Beck, a lefty, twirling in the Colonel right field bullpen. Big gap in right center for the 19-year-old left-handed batter, Bryan Anderson. A fastball just inside, ball 2 to Anderson. Nick Adenhart will try to keep it a 1-0 game here in the 8th inning in favor of Quad Cities. He misses low for ball 3. What a brilliant 8 innings from lefty Jaime García for the swing. There's strike 2 on the outside corner. 1-0 Quad Cities. Payoff pitch is a changeup and a swing and a miss. Bryan Anderson is the 6th strikeout victim of 19-year-old Colonel 7-game winner Nick Adenhart. 6 strikeouts for Adenhart, who's walked only 1. Boy, has Nick pitched his heart out here tonight. You wonder, and I don't say this sarcastically or with any malice towards the Colonel offense, but this is the type of game you wonder if you would let the pitcher hit. Wouldn't it make a difference for a pitcher to try to help himself? I remember Bob Gibson doing that in the late 60s. Here's a line drive smacked fair into the right field corner by Randy Roth. It'll be extra bases. As Renz digs it out of the corner, Randy Roth satisfied with a stand-up double, and that is the 6th hit for the swing, their 3rd double of the evening. But wouldn't you love if you were a pitcher trailing 1-0 to say, Skipper, let me bat. Let me just take one crack at it. Bob Gibson won countless games with his bat as a Cardinal Hall of Famer. I remember him hitting several grand slams in his career. The Cardinals used him as a pinch hitter and pinch runner. Speaking of a pinch runner, the swing is going to bring on Luis Cotto. C-O-T-T-O. Luis Cotto will pinch run for Randy Roth and take over for Randy at third base in the top of the 9th inning. Luis Cotto, C-O-T-T-O, pinch running for Randy Roth. At second, A.J. Van Slyke has a double, has reached on an error and rolled out to Nick Adenhart in this game. Van Slyke takes low, ball 1. This Colonel pitching staff is ranked right in the middle of the Midwest League, 7th of 14 teams. Nick Adenhart has accounted for over a third of the Colonel victories this season. Ball 2 low to Van Slyke. I'm not sure Nick wants to pitch to the left-handed batter, Van Slyke, although the man who's on deck, Adam Rogers, is driven in the only run of the game. The 2-0 to A.J. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Now, how can a 19-year-old at this level throw that kind of pitch? Only Nick Adenhart could do it. The batter can't be looking for a 2-0 changeup. There's a change in the dirt, and the pinch runner will go to third. That'll be the second wild pitch charge to the Colonel starter. Poor Flint Whipke has done his best to keep that ball, those pitches in front of him, but he just hasn't been able to do it. And that wild pitch sends the pinch runner Cotto to third, and now a golden chance for the Swing to add an insurance run. And they would really like an insurance run as they lead it by a narrow 1-0 count here in the 8th inning. Infield in! And a towering pop foul, chased by Mark Trumbo. He has room, and Mark Trumbo makes the catch in front of the Colonel first base dugout. Trumbo had to come a long way to his left, and on the warning track material in front of the Colonel first base dugout, Mark calmly reached out and gloved it for the second out of the inning. What another big, big pitch by Nick Adenhart. Adam Rogers, 1 for 3 tonight, has driven in the game's only run. It came in the 6th inning on a 2-out bouncer through the middle. Luis Cotto, the pinch runner at third with 2 out. Rogers is a right-handed batter with an open stance, and a fastball is upstairs, ball 1. Well, now another right-hander is warming up for Quad City in their bullpen. Brian Stitt. No, that's still Brian Stitt. The question is, will the Swing send Jaime García out for the 9th inning? I would if I were them. We haven't really come close to touching him all evening. Strike 1 on the outside corner, a change-up to Rogers. Yes, and I know pitch counts are the rule of the modern-day game, but, man, let the kid try to win what he started. Nothing against Brian Stitt and his ability as a closer, but if I'm the Swing, I've got to let my starter try to finish it and win it. A curve, and it just missed outside. It's 2-1. Adam Rogers hit .287 with the New Jersey Redbirds last year, the New Jersey Cardinals. And he grounds it sharply past third. The count even now. If the Swing hold on and win tonight, they will pass the Kernels in the standings. If the Kernels come back and win it, the Labor Day weekend's off to a fantastic start. Rogers on a 2-2 pitch takes it high and away. Just missed, ball 3. Luis Cotto leads down the line at third for the Swing. 1-0 Quad Cities. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 out. A towering pop-up to the middle of the diamond should end the inning. Statia's there. Heinle has it. The shortstop came in, and right where the grass meets the front of the dirt infield, Heinle has it for the final out of the inning. That puts a cap on 8 fantastic innings by Nick Adenhart. No runs for the Swing in the 8th. 1 hit, their 3rd double of the game. There were no Colonel errors. Quad City leaves another. They've left 8 aboard. Can the Colonels rally to tie it or take the lead in the top of the 9th inning? Stay tuned to find out. After 8, Swing 1, Colonels nothing. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, yep, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes!
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
8 stellar innings from lefty Jaime García. Daniel Nelson moves to third base. Luis Cotto's at second for the swing, and Martinez is at shortstop. All right. Thanks for those defensive changes. Brian Stitt takes over on the hill and misses outside to Heinle Stacia, who leads off this Colonel Knight and takes a strike, a fastball. Jaime García, 8 innings pitched, gave the Colonels no runs on 5 hits. Walked none. The 1-1 to Heinle. Broken bat roller to second, charged by the new second baseman, who throws in time. And an 0-for-4 night for Heinle Stacia, who breaks his bat and rolls out to second. 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Jaime García struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and walked none. Brian Stitt's a 23-year-old who pitched in this league 2 seasons ago with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers in 45 games, 7 as a starter. He recorded 16 saves and was 2-10. His fastball is swung on and tipped foul into the glove of Bryan Anderson, the catcher, by Marco Albano. Luis Cotto is the second baseman, and Daniel Nelson moves from second to third. Swing and a miss by Marco, strike 2. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Brian Stitt, 0-1, on for the 6th time, a 2.70 ERA. He has 2 saves. He's trying to save it for Jaime García. What great starting pitching from both hurlers tonight. Swing and a miss. 2 out here as Marco Albano fans. Brian Stitt is 1 out away from sending the swing in front of the Colonels in the standings. But Jordan Renz will have a big say whether that happens. Quad Cities out-hit the Colonels 6-5, and they lead it 1-0 here in the 9th inning. Jordan Renz fouls the first pitch straight back, strike 1. Just past the top of the hour, we're in Davenport, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600 KCRG. 1-0 swing, 2 out, top of the 9th for the Colonels. And the 0-1 to Jordan. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. You just had a hunch that 1 run would win this game, and right now, that appears to be the case. The 0-2 to Jordan. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Quad City wins it 1-0. 1-0 Quad City. The Colonels go in order in the top of the 9th inning as Brian Stitt whisks the Colonels aside without a challenge. And the Colonels have dropped their 5th straight and lose a heartbreaker here tonight despite Nick Adenhart's best efforts, 1-0. Totals, highlights, and more coming your way next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
And the Memorial Day weekend gets off to a tough start for the Kernels as Nick Adenhart tangled with lefty Jaime García, and Garcia got the best of the Colonel ace tonight by just a hair as the swing win it 1-0, sending the Kernels to our season high. Well, we've lost 5 in a row for the second time this season, and our record slips to 20-27. This was a ball game we knew could be decided by 1 run based on the fantastic performances of 19-year-old lefty Jaime García for the swing and the 7-0 record of Colonel phenom 19-year-old right-hander Nick Adenhart. In fact, had Nick been able to get some measure of offensive support tonight, he did pitch well enough to he would have become the first minor league professional to 8 wins this season. But the day off just didn't do much to light up the Kernels in terms of the anemic offense that has plagued us most of the year. And you couple that with just a terrific performance by lefty Jaime García, and we have to be grateful that we saw such a great pitching duel tonight and come out on the short end 1-0 Quad City. The Kernels had 2 viable scoring chances in the game. Jordan Renz, with 1 out in the 4th, singled to left. He had 2 of the Colonel 5 hits. Dallas Morris followed with the first of his 2 hits as he singled into center. But then Jaime García got Flint Whipke and Mark Trumbo to fly to right to end that 4th inning scoring threat. Meanwhile, Quad City had great chances throughout the evening. A.J. Van Slyke, a leadoff double in the 2nd inning, but Nick Adenhart did prevent Quad City from scoring. We'll get to that in a moment on our PRC play of the game. Then Daniel Nelson led off let's go back to the 1st inning. Daniel Nelson led off the game with a ball hit hard off Dallas Morris's glove at second, and Adenhart pitched around that error. Then, as I said, Nick pitched around the leadoff double by A.J. Van Slyke in the 2nd. Daniel Nelson led off the 3rd with the base hit, but the swing left him stranded. A.J. Van Slyke, leading off the 4th inning, reached on a first error at first base, but Adenhart prevented Van Slyke from scoring. Then Jose Martinez aboard on a leadoff throwing error by Dallas Morris at 3rd, but the Kernels turned a double play. Finally, though, the swing got the run that stood up. A leadoff double by Bryan Anderson in the 6th inning into left center. He held at second as Randy Roth bounced out to 3rd. A.J. Van Slyke rolled out to the right side. Anderson went from 2nd to 3rd, and then Adam Rogers bounced a single over Adenhart's head into center to score Bryan Anderson, and that gave the swing an insurmountable 1-0 lead. The Colonels' only other scoring chance, a leadoff double by Dallas Morris in the 7th, but with 1 out, he was thrown out by catcher Bryan Anderson trying to steal 3rd base. The final line score, Quad City, 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. They left 8. The Colonels, no runs, 5 hits, 3 errors. We stranded 3. The winning pitcher evens his record at 3-3, Jaime García, and the Colonel tough luck loser, his first defeat of the season, Nick Adenhart, goes to 7-1. A save for Brian Stitt, his 3rd of the season. The game only took 2 hours and 9 minutes, and 1,211 were here to see the swing open the 4-game series with a 1-0 shutout victory. We'll be back in a moment with our PRC play of the game here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank Free Money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, care for Giuseppe Florentina? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you see. Come to Zio Giano's for Il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
Welcome back to Davenport at John O'Donnell Stadium, where lefty Jaime García outdueled Nick Adenhart, and the Swing earn a 1-0 win here this evening. PRC is proud to support the communities where their employees live and work. Unfortunately, the Kernels did not hit a home run this evening, so $700 remains the count that PRC's Community Care has donated to help reduce hunger in our community in their fabulous Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. Every Kernel home run results in a $25 pledge donation to the Haycap Food Reservoir this season from PRC. And 28 Kernel home runs, the third highest total in the league, mean that PRC has donated $700 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. In this scoreless game, our PRC play of the game came in the second inning. A.J. Van Slyke, a leadoff double. 1 out later, Simon Williams walked, and that brought Casey Roulette to the plate. Here's our PRC play of the game. Hart will be pitching later this season, but we hope that he'll be with us the next 3.5 weeks so that he can appear in the All-Star game here in Davenport. Here's a shot into right center for extra bases, I think. On the run, a diving catch by Stantrell Smith. He gets up and throws to first, not in time. Stantrell Smith just robbed the Swing of not 1, but 2 runs. Stantrell Smith literally outran that baseball, and I mean Casey Roulette lashed it into right center. Stantrell, with the ball trailing away from him, sped to his left, dove onto his knees, lunged outward, and made a sensational catch in the right center field gap to take 2 runs away from the Swing. And that's why we chose Stantrell's outstanding catch, robbing Quad Cities of 2 runs back in the second, as our PRC play of the game. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. The benefits include a 401k retirement savings plan, paid training, casual dress code, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, all available at PRC. And you can learn more about the fabulous career opportunities at PRC by visiting their website, www.prcnet.com. That's our PRC play of the game. 1-0 Quad Cities. We'll be back with a look at an abbreviated State Farm Major League scoreboard next here on the Colonel Curtain Call.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall, and listen, if you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
We're back at John O'Donnell Stadium, where the Kernels bowed to Quad Cities this evening, 1-0. Now, our final portion of the Colonel Curtain Call has us checking scores on the big league front, thanks to State Farm insurance agents Gary Shubat, who was here watching and rooting for the Kernels this evening, along with Colonel friend and fan Tom Kelly. Gary Shubat, Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler bring us this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Only 2 games in the National League, and they were this afternoon. At RFK Stadium, the Nationals brushed aside the Astros 8-5, and at Shea Stadium, the Mets fell to the Phillies 5-3, Philadelphia. This afternoon in the American League, the Royals had a lead of 8 runs, but the Tigers rallied for 8 in the final 2 innings, and they handed the hapless Royals their 13th loss in a row as the Tigers crowned the Royals 13-8 at Kauffman Stadium. And this afternoon at Safeco Field in the Emerald City, the Orioles blanked the Mariners 2-0. They're in the top of the 9th inning at Fenway Park. The Red Sox are ahead of Tampa Bay 4-1. And in the bottom of the 7th, a wild one at Ameriquest Field in Arlington, the Athletics lead the Rangers 7-6. And that does it for the State Farm Major League Scoreboard here from Davenport, sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Gary Shubat. Nick Adenhart allowed 1 run on 5 hits in 7 innings, struck out 6, walked 1, but it just wasn't enough as the Kernel offense was stymied by 19-year-old southpaw Jaime García, who pitched 8 innings of shutout ball, allowed only 5 hits. Brian Stitt worked the scoreless 9th, and the Kernels lost a tough one, 1-0 to the Swing. We'll greet you tomorrow evening from John O'Donnell Stadium on 1450 KMRY. You'll be listening to Hawkeye Downs Racing here in the zone, but we'll have the Kernel action for you 6:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show with Kernel manager Bobby Magallanes as he fields your baseball questions. Remember, Bob Brooks and Robbie Brooks will be here. The game will be televised live on Channel 22, your cable station. You can watch the Kernels in action live with Robbie Brooks and Hall of Famer Bob Brooks doing the telecasting here from Davenport. Again, final score, the Swing 1 and the Kernels 0. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.